and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary finies and hellions of all walks of life, I'm hoping that my audio is actually working. And welcome back to Blood and Cinders, a Somnus Dominus story set in the world of Nat 19, along with my amazing cast, minus one. Rox's buddy / Holly will not be here due to reasons, but we have a bunch of other people with us, and nothing bad is going to happen because if we're at a party, why would anything bad happen? Before we get started, we'll go around, introduce my amazing cast. Uh, let's start with Panda, because I see you first on my screen.
Okay. Hi, I'm Red Panda Cola. Tonight I will be playing Filtiarn Celebrian, and let's hope he survives the bullshit he's going to be dealing with today. Filtiarn.
And let's go with Pi.
Hi, I am Pie or Pie Guy, everyone's favorite sentient pie, or so my mother tells me. I am playing equally everyone's favorite gambling addict, dad bard, Adrian Adelard, who he's not being, possibly gonna die, but he's certainly as equally in trauma with Filtiarn. Family matters as well.
And of course, everyone's favorite Arc. I was about to say your entire intro, and I stopped myself.
I mean, listen, the greatest flattery would be having someone else do your intro for you. So,
Hello, everyone. I'm Ark or Arc Light Court, your grid master, lighthouse keeper, lore writer, beacon onto all beacons. But tonight I'm playing nobody's favorite because everybody who knows him is probably dead. Vampire barbarian Orm, who's just here to do his job.
Mm-hmm. Or you're my favorite.
I don't know you.
Hey,
I know your name and you could do magic. That's about it.
Hey, Pi, do you want to do a recap
Yeah.
of what went down?
Oh, you know what? I'm so glad you're asking me. So we started the session at the tavern, making our battle plans when La showed up again and, continued helping us plan everything. And while Adrian was busy getting changed for the party in his room, she dropped the bombshell that, hey, I don't know if you guys should tell him this, but his wife and possibly one of his sons are going to be there. Oh, and also, his wife may be being escorted by the champion of a tournament, which is great. The party then proceeded to make plans to make sure I don't encounter my wife instead of telling me. I then went off to scout the perimeters, where unknowingly at the time, I ran into said champion and agreed to become friends with said champion. And then I don't remember if Filtiarn or Canian did anything. I think they kind of hung out before we went to the party. And then we went to the party. Canian met someone from their past, some sort of connection with royal families. I met a Minotaur Lord, who I'm now buddy with, and invited me to a poker game or some sort of card game. And then, thanks to Panda's rolls, thanks Panda, the first thing that we encountered was Adrian's wife and the champion, who I then proceeded to challenge to a duel at midnight. And then we walked off, and Panda found himself in conversation with a long-lost sister who wants him dead. And Orm enjoyed being a cardboard cutout.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and give yourself an inspiration.
Yeah.
And we're going to kick things off, not with Filtiarn.
Oh boy.
Not with the dad. Orm. This auction is in full party mode right now. Guests mingling with one another. It is an eclectic fusion of sights, sounds, and smells, all mingling together into one ornate mess, which a part of you is a little familiar with. What would you be doing right now?
Well, first and foremost, we're intermingling with other wonderful entities, and I don't know who might be or who could be part of a coterie or gathering or things of that nature. So before reveling in the wonderful smells of the room, uh, Orm puts the like satin filigree face covering mask on that he had gotten from Auntie. Uh, Pulls that over so that it is obfuscating enough to where they can't really make out any facial features to really give away his identity, but it isn't so dark that he can't see through it and interact with the people around him. Uh, Looking around the area, it would essentially be the wine glass in hand, just soft waves to people as they're passing. Anyone who stops and goes to speak with him or ask him anything, he just very simply slips right back into the I am Ostario Romero Malacor. I am a unnamed diplomat representing a family who's interested in quite a few of the items tonight, not just one. And just like continues this very prepared, like blending amongst the high society that feels second nature for him.
Would you mind rolling me a perception check real quick?
Absolutely. Does this involve smelling of any kind?
Yes, it does.
Ooh. Yeah, give me that advantage. Needed it. That was a 2 on the low side. But a 16 plus nothing for a 16.
So among the partygoers, you're detecting a few intermingling scents. A lot of it just sort of, okay, this is from that town. Like, this is clearly what this smell is. And then the scent of salt water hits your nose. This place isn't near an ocean.
Nope.
And then this underlying tone of sandalwood, which seems to be coming from a fancy dressed, if a little promiscuously dressed woman wearing a slit open kimono that has been moved down from her shoulders, exposing her shoulders and a lot of her cleavage. A voluminous hair. And this very relaxed tone that she seems to have with a few of the partygoers.
From within the wonderful face covering I have, I'll blink my eyes and use my blood sight. Does this seem familiar?
Let me see. I actually have to check a thing on her.
I forgot that all of you have special eyes except for me because I'm just a human.
I think only 2 of us do.
Yeah.
Damien had something.
Did he?
She does not have. So, describe to me how your sight works in this sense.
So, for blood seeking vision, what I'm looking to see is that I'd be aware of like their blood type, things of that nature, like if they're living or
She is not.
Essentially along those lines.
She is not.
She is
You
not.
cannot detect blood.
Okay. Am I seeing a Am I seeing a figure that doesn't fit the silhouette
Parts of it.
of the person?
Parts of it. There are areas where
Parts
there's
of it.
supposed to be more that she's not displaying.
Is this L?
No,
This is not L.
this is not L.
Okay. That was my trying to see through illusion by seeing who the base entity is, essentially.
This is not L.
Okay. Yeah, I'll immediately go and essentially like shoo away whoever is around her.
Yeah, as she continues to have this conversation with a few of the other, what seem to be nobles that are absolutely enamored by her, your appearance seems to kind of take them out of this state, and they excuse themselves accordingly. As she turns to look to you, and this little, slightly wry smile with a little sharpened tooth just, well, my. Aren't you interesting?
So is your scent, darling.
Pardon my manners. To who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
I would be Astario Romero Malacor.
Quite a title.
Not a title at all. Just what people like to call me.
Like to call you? What should they actually call you?
It depends on the person. Some could call me theirs, some could call me their worst nightmare. Others could call me a great friend.
You are fascinating. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
How might someone who smells as delicious as you do find yourself in a position like this?
Oh, I'm here on an accord from somewhere not near Sermon Way.
I can tell from the salt in the air you speak.
Let's say I'm here on Cahulian business.
Oh, that lends itself a little bit more to the conversation then. I wonder if you're here for the Kitsune statue, or maybe the armament heart.
The statues definitely has my interest most piqued. How'd you know about that?
I'm here on what could be considered similar business. I can almost assure you that none will place a higher bet or succeed in getting the Kitsune statue than those that I represent. Uh, but I am quite curious what other items you're interested in.
Oh, I'm just looking for some more fanciful things. I've heard that some of the nobles here are selling off some of their prized perfume collections, and I am a fan of some of the art pieces they also have on sale.
I think those you will be uncontested in, madam, by any degree of. And looks around the room and like raises a nose to show he's like smelling everyone there. I don't think any of them would be as astute to understand the significance of a scent.
You are a fascinating individual. Normally speaking, I have my bodyguard near me just to make sure that you don't try anything untoward, but she's found some more bemusing things to look after. Besides, I can handle myself just fine.
Seems to be her loss. She's not getting to enjoy the visage of two wonderful entities sharing splendid conversation.
You are a tease. She like bats your shoulder in a very like playful manner. Um, she does. This won't be scent based. Give me a perception check.
Okay. That is a 19.
You, for a split second, see this illusion around her drop as if she intended for it to do so. And you see where her hair is normally this beautiful white, you see it extend downwards a little bit more and then upwards into two large fox ears, as well as a series of tails behind her. Which all then quickly vanish as she just gives you this little knowing smirk.
Beautiful, beautiful. So the fox still does find itself in all the greatest of locations with the greatest of ease.
My nom de plume is Tamama no Mai.
Mm. What would you like me to call you?
Tamama is just fine.
Then I won't keep these other unsanctioned entities from having their opportunity at a conversation with you. If you find yourself looking for better conversation or someone to revel in your successes of the evening, just simply look for Orm.
Will do. It'll be a pleasure. And I'm going to also give you all an image. Tamama no Mai.
Ooh.
Uh, where did it go? I just saw it and it went away. There you are. Bop.
I am going to commit uh, her true form
Mhm.
and the silhouette of it to memory if I need to activate my blood seeking vision again to try and identify them.
That's fair. She does kind of drift back into the crowd, slinks her way through, and you are once more kind of left not so much in the center, but just around quite a few other people. Um, you do catch sight of a very jovial looking, almost to a disturbingly happy extent, uh, walking just away from the side, uh, a large heart shaped axe at her back, arms crossed, just kind of chuckling to herself. Um, as she heads over to the table where you see a woman who is a lot less pleased, it seems, uh,
Mhm.
which the two seem to get into what it looks like an argument of some kind, though the happy woman has not lost her grin.
I go and approach them.
You pick up on the last bits of the conversation, which is just, I mean, you didn't tell me that that was going to happen, but I mean, it's fine. It's a duel. I win those. It's kind of how we met. Hi. This woman turns to look to you.
Duel.
Yeah. A little unfortunate business happened, and guy challenged me to a duel later today. So tonight, I guess.
Is this looking back to Maya? Is this your astute guard?
Tama looks over to that and shakes her head. Returns to taking a sip. Oh no, I've never met her. I'm actually here. I'm mostly here because they hired me out to be one of the guards for this place. I won the glass crown, so
Oh, so there's a handful of individuals who you find yourself parading with that are very close and dear to me.
as a thing, this is not the woman with Tamamao who has moved on. This is
Mhm.
uh, you recognize a smell. I'm actually not gonna have you roll for this. The woman that this axe wielding woman is like arms with.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. The unfortunate thing is that you recognize the scent of. I have to. I'm scrolling around for stuff. Um, where'd you go?
A Filthiarn?
No,
No.
no, not
Do I
filthy.
smell that shaman fucker on her?
I lost your name, Dad. Where's your name?
Adrian?
Me?
Yes, Adrian. You recognize Adrian's scent on the woman who's hanging off the arm of this other woman.
Ah,
It's old though, and has been masked.
as heavily as possible, but I
Yeah.
could still.
Yep.
Who is it exactly who's found themselves trying to challenge you, darling?
Uh, her ex, Adrian, I think is his name.
Ah, very well acquainted with that gentleman.
Oh, I. the woman who has locked arms with this one like raises an eyebrow and looks you up and down. How?
A variety of existential questions that led to conversations with guild masters and tavern keeps and things of that nature. I found myself speaking with them a handful of times.
That is somehow really familiar and very sad.
Nonetheless, why would the why the duel? Why the challenge?
The actually woman kind of just scratches the back of their neck in a very like way of just. I guess he didn't know his ex would be here, or that she got with me.
Ah,
So
so
it's
that is where the
honor duel. I, they don't.
a compassionate
I guess.
field
I
of
mean, a
combat.
fight's a fight.
But there are fights that are entirely one-sided where there is no emotion driving or honor binding
Yeah, but those are boring.
situations that are attached
Those
to.
are boring.
To be agreed. So instead of just a simple duel, this is something of compassion, something from the heart, something felt unfinished,
True, one-sided as it is. Yeah.
and maybe a closing of a chapter for the two of you here.
Definitely for her. I mean, we've yeah. I don't
Mm.
I don't know where our other guest went, but probably should also let him know.
And who in particular? I'm very well acquainted with most of the security detail
Yeah,
this evening.
it's less so a security thing.
Well, no,
So
I could have them find them and then report the information if needed.
okay, good. So there's like a little like um so Adrian Adelar Jr.'s here.
Mm. Is this the one that recently had armor commissioned?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, he was requested to be here because of status. There's someone here who has been okay. There's like this pause from the fighter, and then she thinks about it. I'm Anastasia, by the way. Goes for a handshake.
Astara Romero Malacor.
That's a handful. What can I call you?
Uh, Orm.
Orm. Okay. So, Junior was getting guild commissions from the Dragging Dagger a lot.
Okay.
They got requested to be here via the Dragging Dagger, via one of the lords here.
Mm.
I got requested to be here because I won the Glass Crown.
Okay.
She's my +1.
Okay. So, an unnatural bit of family reunion, essentially.
Yes, an unnatural, unfortunate, but kind of funny.
I can see the comedy aspect of it. I apologize simply because I seem to be out of times with all of the other people here. The country that I represent holds dear to very old-fashioned motifs and values and ethics. So there are a few constructs I'm still working myself through, essentially.
If it's any consolation to you, being around parties with these hoity-toity fucks is real inconvenient for me in general.
I could see how that would be, and like motions to the axe and everything. Well, nonetheless, if you do find yourself in battle, make it worth your while.
I always do.
Maybe put a wager on it.
I'll think about it. I'll think about one.
I simply from what I know of the man in passing conversation and the interactions we have had, a little bit of gold on the line might make it a little bit more interesting for you.
There is an intense anger that is almost visible on the woman hanging off of Anastasia's arms at that statement.
I
At
mean,
least
no
it
harm
wasn't
to you.
me. At least it wasn't me who started the wager talks tonight.
This is this.
I mean,
there's like-
no harm to you.
Is
I
not-
understand
is-
this may be a weighing point.
Still gambling?
I'm not certain that he does, but I do know a handful of the conversations we did have were about bets he had won in the past and things of that nature.
Oh, he's actually winning those now.
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe trying to appease an appearance for a new interaction. But nonetheless, I do believe that it would be a way to invigorate and at least make it worth and gestures to the other woman your while that it's no more than just swinging hands and swinging blades. You can put a little bit more coin in your pocket if necessary.
I'll think about it.
Now, I did have, just so that I'm certain that I'm covering all of the bases here, your name, and he gesturing to the woman that's hanging off of her side. Essentially, Adrian's ex-wife.
Abigail.
Abigail?
Larkin.
They mismarking. I do have a small point of contention that I would like just a small bit of information or bereavement of. The gentleman that worked on your son's armor and weaponry, very, very close friend of mine. Also helped me with a handful of lead and obsidian, things of that nature. Very fine worker, knows good material, things of that nature. I was made privy to the designs because I just happened to be in the space when they were being worked on. Do you know why he may have modeled them after Adrian? Adrian. Why he modeled it after Adrian's armor and weaponry?
You'd have to ask him. It
Do,
wasn't an issue, just it was
no, not an issue. I want to see if my foundings are correct. If this is totemic of a desire to show that this visage, this appearance of this armor and weapon means more than what it may have meant previously, what it may have been attributed to previously, or if this is an homage.
I'd figure it's more of the latter than the former. Specifics
See,
you may have to ask him, but
that I will do. Just so then, if again I happen to run into Adrian again, and the conversation does come up, I can provide him with that level of understanding because he happened to be within the space at the same time I was when the conversation was had. But with all of that, if you find me before you enter your ring and bout tonight, madam, let me know. I'd love to watch.
of course, happy to.
And Orm will turn, and now he's trying to find Adrian's son.
All I'm thinking is, you bastard.
Give me a perception check with advantage.
Absolutely. That's a natural 20, but my perception is +0, so that's just a 20.
You see, standing on guard beside a Hattislan with very almost alabaster pale skin. And you'll note that the horns are a little less prominent. They're more similar to nubs in a sense. A very androgynous appearance to them as well, wearing long cream-colored cloak and just kind of standing and observing. You see somebody who you initially think of as like, wow, Adrian cleaned his armor up nice, but no, that's...
Adrian also shaved and lost 15 pounds.
Yeah, the spitting image, if only he was actually in shape and looked good.
Yes, it's a good way to describe it. Standing essentially at attention.
I'll go to the
Hattislan.
secondary person, the Haddington. Go ahead and make rounds. I'm aware of at least several entities that are here that are operating under an illusion of some kind. See if you can ascertain the true outline or identity in thereof, I'll hold your place while you do that.
Why, thanks. They begin
And
to...
then we'll take that spot next to Adrian Jr.
Stiffens up a little bit, trying to make himself look, because you're tall, so he's trying to. It's like he's trying to match the height.
Don't be so shaky, boy.
Try not to. It's the first real thing.
Yeah, but you were requested by a lord.
Fighting.
That means something.
Fighting gnolls and rowdy bandits is nothing to me less.
You need both sides of the coin for success, not just one.
Yeah, I guess you're right on that front.
What's your name?
Adrian.
Wonderful, wonderful. There's another Adrian that's here. Any relation?
Depends. What's their last name?
I'm not 100% certain. I'm pretty sure if I heard it, it would ring a bell. What's yours?
Adelard.
I think it's something like that. I'm almost certain.
There's.
I know they have a. I know they have a son.
You see the eyebrow raise, oh.
They're helping with particularly dangerous aspects of this whole security
Jeez, I don't know.
of everything. Yeah,
How's that?
he's on my team,
Oh,
and I look. Even though he can't see my eyes, I'm looking directly in his eyes.
That's it's probably good then. Probably means everything's gonna go well. I mean, I wouldn't do anything if, no offense, but look at you.
And you should see the other guy he's got to work with.
Oh, jeez.
But I do have a question. I did happen to run into your mother.
Sorry.
One of the reasons why I found my way over here. Don't apologize. She's a wonderful woman. You should be proud to.
45 seconds. I've lived with her.
Sometimes all you need is a passing glance at a person to know how good and true of heart they are.
Wise words.
I do have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
It's been a point of contention. I'm trying to explain away understandings that your father thinks he has.
Yeah.
Why'd you model your armor after his?
It's good armor. It's a good design.
There's more to it than that.
He kind of seems to rock on his heels a little. I don't know. Mom may not have liked it, but I always thought Dad looked cool. When he would come home doing missions for the guild, armor. I figured if I could look half like that, I'd actually be a hero,
So an honor,
I guess.
an homage,
Yeah.
and love.
The name Adrian Adelard should mean something.
It does.
I mean, to more than just, me.
Why does anyone else matter?
He seems to think about that answer and rocks on his heels again. The name Valorbuilt, it symbolizes something for the Valorbuilt family and for people like Valorbuilts who look up to them as knights. If they hear that name, they immediately think of heroics and hope. If I could make the name Adrian Adelard mean the same thing, it would, I don't know, prove people wrong.
Let me tell you something fun about names. I don't know who the Valbrook are.
Built.
Exactly my point.
That's,
What value does that have?
that's surprising.
But now you meet an individual who gives you a 3-letter name, and instantly you feel trust. You feel safety, a little bit of fear, but you feel acknowledged. Someone's listening.
Yeah.
Someone's giving you the air to breathe out for the first time in a long time.
Oh, jeez, you sound like my brother.
No one else in this room knows my name.
Huh. You see him roll his shoulders again, like he's trying to. He's taking in the words, you know for sure.
Yeah. It's not an overnight change of things. It's just planting a seed, essentially.
How is Dad?
He's good. He's making better decisions, better choices. Still holds you and your mother and your siblings in the highest of regards.
Oh,
Even in the short time I've known him, he has only talked about you.
huh. Brother will like to hear that when I get back, I think. I'm not really sure what he likes and doesn't like.
But it's good to know. It's good to feel seen and acknowledged.
Yeah.
But it's not what's important.
Yeah.
You love your father. Your father loves you. You love your mother loves you. No one else in this room would know that.
Yeah.
Just you. So as long as what you are doing matters to you, that's all that truly matters in the world.
Yeah, that makes
Now,
sense.
before you pass out from locking your knees, because I can hear your pulse through your neck, when the other one gets back here, I want you to do another lap as well. Swing by your mother, bring her a drink, give her a kiss on the cheek, tell her you saw your father and you were happy to see him.
Okay.
Even if you don't, because I feel like you heard his words and me speaking with you right now. So you did see him.
I will definitely do that and hope she doesn't snap my neck. And he will
She won't.
start to make the rounds.
She won't.
How dare you make me emotional 2 sessions in a row? How dare!
And for my final trick,
Yeah.
who's fucking up? Who's in places they're not supposed to be? Who is doing shit they're not supposed to?
I'll give you. You know what? I'm gonna make you do a dice roll for this.
Yeah.
So I know what it's going to be for odds and evens, but roll a d20.
Okay. Evens.
Hey, Adrian, where are you?
He's probably doing laps of, like, if it's like a big ballroom, I'm
Yeah.
kind of assuming.
Yep.
He's probably doing laps of the perimeter.
Outside of it or
probably-
inside?
He's probably on the wall, but for this he's probably on the opposite wall from you guys, so he doesn't see you. Because mostly what he's doing is he's kind of like eyes just on the ground, mumbling to himself like, I'm never gonna win. I'm gonna win. He is absolutely just mumbling to himself, and occasionally, whenever he passes like a noble who looks like they're worth money, he walks by but whispers, I hear there's gonna be a fight later tonight, and then just continues walking. And then just continues walking.
I'm gonna hand you this golden shovel.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what
think-
you see.
I think I heard him say that to somebody from this distance,
Yeah.
and like immediate. No one can see it, but the face is now dropped inside the mask. And it's like, this motherfucker. And just beelines it through the center of the ballroom directly towards Adrian.
And I will say, it's probably very clear he's absolutely mentioning a fight to whoever he passes by that looks like the most jewelry on them. Whoever has the most money looking that he walks by, if they're just wearing like regular robes, he's not whispering. But if someone's wearing like a shit ton of jewelry and they're caked in makeup, he's going, "Hey, I think there's gonna be a fight later," and then walks.
I'm gonna snap my fingers at any of the attendants that are in the area as I'm going over, and I go, while I grab this guard and have a conversation with them, I want you to stand perfectly still in the place where he was at.
Right. Got it.
And just beelining with this like maitre d behind me towards Adrian.
Yeah, they just have like hors d'oeuvres on the plate, like.
Yeah, it's a little. It's not hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
What you see on their plate, you see what looks like, poking out. You see bits of pasta, with a strange red fried item along it, attached to a stick, which is a fried dish known as sasketti, which is essentially fried spaghetti and with sauce.
Are they also serving spaghetti tacos here?
No, it's just, no, just sasketti. There's also like hors d'oeuvres and other finger foods, but that's specifically for this guard. Guard maitre d.
As I get within visual acuity, but no more than like 5 feet from Adrian, I go, you and me outside right now.
We have a job.
Yeah, we do. Outside.
All right.
There's a small, like, you almost feel a wrinkling in one of your pauldrons as I grab the shoulder of it for us to walk outside, and I just one hand place a maitre d where you were standing.
He probably looks back and like, does that guy even have a weapon? Oh, where are we going?
Now you are fighting people.
How did you find out? Where have you
Do I look like I'm supposed to be on security detail in here?
No.
Motions to the very nice clothes satin face mask.
He goes, no, I do. Why are you taking me away from the...
Yeah, so I'm making sure that we're getting eyes on the people that aren't supposed to be getting the shit that they're going after. And also, finding out that your wife is here with someone, that you challenge them to a fight for honor, that your son is here and was requested by one of the lords to be on the security team as well.
My son's here?
Yeah.
Why?
And to win a bet...
Did you mention a lord?
A lord requested him specifically.
This is a lot.
By name, nonetheless.
This is a lot.
And also to settle our previous conversation about the whole measuring because of armors and things of that nature. He did it to pay honor and homage to you out of love and respect because he looked up to you and desires to bring honor to both of your names, since I learned that you both have the same name as well.
He's a junior.
He wants people to hear your names and think positively and have a more monumentous and regalia to the name than whatever may have been ascribed to it when you passed it along to him. Which he doesn't fault you for. He still reveres you, and as such had his armor made in your likeness. And your wife smells amazing, by the way.
He was about to say something and absolutely pauses at that. And
I'm sorry, call you mute.
okay. Orm, I'm sorry. It's probably instinct.
That's fine.
What an ending line.
you probably, if you want me to roll for it, I will, unless you want to take it, because he does like send a left, like a
Oh, I'll
right
take
at
it.
you.
I'll
Like there's
absolutely take it.
like it's like instinct. There's just a right fist coming right at you.
And it, again, like head bobs back and then right back in position and goes, I only found her because she still smells like you.
There's an implication.
Okay, first of all, he punches you, and it's the reaction of he did that on instinct, but it's also the reaction of he probably didn't mean to punch you. You just said something about his wife, and you happened to be in front of
Yep.
him.
Yeah.
You know, like
He's
he didn't.
fully aware of that.
Yeah, like he didn't want to punch you. It
Orm
just
wanted him to
happened.
punch him.
Yeah.
That's why he
So
said
it's
it.
probably a reaction of like, I'm gonna Will Smith you.
Yeah.
Don't keep my wife's name out your mouth. Um,
And without insight, Orm wanted you to do that. Orm wanted you to react.
okay, listen. Ignoring that, and he might be fuming a little bit, but it's not like it's not barbarian anger. Um, you said you saw my son and where he is. Maybe I should have a talk with him.
No, not tonight. Revel in the fact that what he knows of you at this current juncture is both of you were chosen by name to do the
That,
exact same job together.
I can be proud of that.
He's succeeding.
He is. I hate that, no offense, I have to learn through someone I don't really know.
I don't know you, and I'm already trying to help you. Also, I might have convinced the person you're fighting to put a wager on you, the two of you fighting.
Okay. Um,
Really try to drive in that gambling problem of,
yeah, yeah. Getting-
it's not just
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
you
Mhm,
thing. Everyone does this.
mhm, mhm, mhm. He he says you're betting on me, right? But he gives you the look of like, don't bet on me.
I'm wagering nothing, but I've convinced them to wager on it.
Well, I would recommend if you want to make money, don't bet on me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rob them.
Oh, you know what? You know, that might be the nicest thing you've said to me.
No one's seen my face here tonight.
With the information of my family, knowing that you robbed them.
I wouldn't rob your family. Maybe the
No, no,
woman.
no, 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 no. But when I undoubtedly get my ass handed and they walk away with a lot of gold, I all I'm saying is I would feel better about the bruises if I have something in my pocket.
I think there's a better aspect to this that you're not taking into consideration.
Which is
Who did they call out for this battle? Or who called them out for this battle?
me.
So if a masked individual at the end of the evening calls for this person challenged Adrian,
Yeah,
remind
Adeline.
me Adelard, uh, challenge Adrian Adelard to a duel, and your son steps forward. What do they do then? Would they fight them? Would they harm them in front of your wife?
That sounds.
Or would you allow them to harm him in front of you?
No, I wouldn't.
So you've got the emotion to win the battle, and he'll just like pat him on the shoulder and go, "Get back inside and do your job," and then goes inside looking for filthy art.
Speaking of, hey, Filthy Yarn.
Ha
I hate you, Ark, so much. I hate you so much.
Oh boy.
As
Yeah.
still staring directly at you, her eyes in full lock to yours. Kimihara places a hand on the sword, and you see her go to start pulling at it, but you see the chains around it immediately tighten, and her hand seems to struggle to pull a little bit more. Why now?
Having a little difficulty there. Someone not letting you.
My sword has a tendency to only want to spill blood when it wants to spill blood.
That's an interesting little tick. I didn't think a sword could do that. Unless it's not just a normal sword.
Is yours?
As far as I'm aware.
Wouldn't make sense that a bastard child wouldn't know the truth.
Not the first time I've heard that.
Her lip curls into a slight snarl.
His face would stay stony, but his gaze would kind of inch towards a more colder look. As he's used to being called that, but he feels it more of a dig at his mother than he does himself. So it's tiptoeing on things he doesn't like. And what kind of truth are you talking about?
She kind of lets go of the hilt and seems to draw her hand away from it as if trying to keep herself from grabbing it again. You're a Hanyo just like me. Well, not just like me.
Yeah, apparently.
So why are you here?
Why are you?
We're looking for something. Or I was tasked with looking for something.
Wouldn't happen to be a statue, would it?
What if it is?
Ah. That's going to be a bit of a problem. But then again, I think we both already knew that.
Just maybe. It'll only be a problem if you get in our way.
Like I said,
She, again, gives this, like, look up and down, looks back to your sword. You're a sword saint.
I guess that's a way of saying it.
At least you stink.
I'm assuming you're the same.
You can say that. You stink of fights.
Well, fighting's what I've always been good at. Not much else.
Guess that's the one thing we have in common.
I'd almost say it's instinct, huh?
Wolves like us love getting in fights.
I guess so. It's that prey drive.
If that's the case, why don't we? And as she goes to reach for the sword again, you see a glimmer around her neck, and she visibly begins to pull back as if feeling something and turns her head.
Am I able to follow that glimmer if it leads elsewhere?
It doesn't, but it looks like a collar. You know what? Give me a perception to see something.
Okay, just vision based.
Mm.
8.
You can tell that she's looking into the crowd as if somebody did something. You can't see exactly who she's looking for.
Can't see who it is exactly, but it looks like somebody's been collared. I assume they don't want you to make a scene here.
Not yet.
Which yet. See, that word I'm not a fan of, considering that implicates things.
Normally I would say not to cause trouble and nothing would happen, but I'm begging you. Please cause trouble.
Of course, because you want Daddy to be proud of you, don't you?
There's a step forward, and then again she is pulled back.
I guess that's the difference between you and me. I don't necessarily care if anybody's proud of me.
Because no one has been, big brother. She sharply turns and begins to follow after where apparently she has been pulled.
And he'll just kind of let his own features get a bit of a snarl, revealing his own elongated canines as he follows directions heading in.
I will say you don't need a perception for that, as you see her head towards the woman with the flared open kimono, who, as she walks next to her, you see her loop a finger under where you don't see a collar still, but just like pull her up. Seems to give her an admonishing look, and then just directs her to the side. Looks over to you and gives a coy wink and begins to follow.
To which he just kind of narrows his eyes before raising his hood back up over his head.
Sketty, sir? As you
With,
find yourself
when
back
with
to
me,
where Adrian.
I was gonna say with me and Orm walking back in, would we see Filthiorn coming out of the side room?
Yes, you also see the same waiter just as Filthiorn comes out. Just Sketty? I was told to stand here.
Yeah, like,
I'm
relieved.
good.
Back to the crowd.
Continue serving the people.
Thank you, Sketty. Gestures to either one of you.
No.
Okay.
Filthiorn, you look like you've seen a ghost.
And he'll look at you. And how obvious is it that you've been kind of through an emotional ringer of your own?
He's got a look to him.
And I'll just kind of look to Orm. Will glance from under his hood. Seems family issues, isn't it? You're not the only one dealing with family issues.
Do you have a wife that I need to go converse with as well?
As if I'm so lucky.
I wouldn't put it past you.
One big guy.
No. No, let's just say other things have come to light that I didn't know about.
Are they connected to anyone who's still in the room?
Do we need to keep an eye out for anything? Is that going to cause problems?
Well, remember how we were told to keep things away from those dressed in Cahulian garb?
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of positioned his head that you can tell from under his hood that it's in the direction of those individuals. Well, let's just say I think I know who we're supposed to be keeping an eye out for.
I may have already dissuaded one of them.
I wouldn't doubt. I honestly doubt that.
I can almost assure it. The Lady Tamaya. And he'll again, the under the cloak motion towards the woman in the split kimono.
Hey, Phil, roll me a history check with advantage.
Will do.
We can get them on anything illegal.
If I would stop
or
dropping my damn dice, hold on.
Don't do that.
trying to disrupt the party, we can always get the guards on that.
Oh no, fully aware of exactly what their actual desire as an entity is, not as a global or governmental
That's a 9.
figurehead.
You're aware of the name Tamamonamai, specifically because that's a sister of Kyubi.
Uh-huh.
You're not fully
I know
aware of
that's
all of her stuff, but you do know a couple things.
she's one of the ones who consume.
Yes, she is she's one of the first to consume. You do know a couple things about her. Number one, she is fully dedicated to material pleasures. And she's very, very stringent when it comes to her own indulgences. So
Gotcha. So
conceptually,
she's very
yeah.
hedonistic.
Yes. Which is
I was
why-
able to convince them that the people's eye, and he'll motion to the face covering, not being able to see who he is and the wonderful outfit he has, that the people's eye represent will be sparing no expense in effort to retrieve the particular item, but conversations could be had at a later date. And that they should pay more mind to the things that they're more interested in, such as the perfumes and certain art pieces, essentially.
He'll kind of reach out and in the most nonchalant way possible pull you both in closer. That's QB's sister.
Oh, she's a wonderful woman.
She's a yokai.
She's a
I know.
yokai.
So what you're saying is let me just make sure I'm following this. Your teacher who has another sister who has
They have multiple.
who has infiltrated the minds of two of us and
That's
promised to find us, has another sister here and now. How dangerous are they?
With the knowledge you have, Tamama no Mai. Okay, so the Persa Skulk are all dangerous. In terms of magical proficiency, the only equal Tamama no Mai, that would go over her, would be Nogistane.
so, and he's making sure to keep his voice low just for the three of us to hear. So, that one that got into your head is Danae. Out of all of my teacher's siblings, she's the only one to rival them magically.
Okay.
Love to rival them physically.
As far as I'm aware, mages are still pretty squishy. However, They kind of make that up with their physical appeal aside.
So
Then
what
where's
I'm
the
hearing-
fun?
What I'm hearing is keep
Not
them in
here
good
right now.
Spirits. We want to keep them in good spirits and make sure things don't go horribly wrong.
I've maintained the spirits of them at least through the party and recognition. Who is it that you're saying might affirm them otherwise?
The one next to them.
Do I see
I'm
the other
assuming
person?
that
Yeah,
Kimihara's still there.
Yeah, Orm, all of you can see the other one who's standing next to them. You all see somebody in a very similar hooded cloak design to Filtiarn. Theirs a little bit more elaborate. To the point that theirs almost looks less like a hood and cloak and more like restraints.
I think-
Gotcha. Do they have their
think-
back to us?
Yes. They are
Okay.
facing away from you all.
I
The
think
one
that
who's standing like a whipped puppy.
Adrian would see this person and not knowing that there's any familial relation, just seeing the very clearly like the similar hood style and clothing style, he's just like offhands like familial relation. Like doesn't even know, just sees the hood and goes, "Oh, interesting. Any relation?"
Yes.
Ah, love that. Give me a smell real quick. Do I have any of your scent on me currently?
I will attempt to do so.
You're already close? Yes. There's a little bit. Orm's smell is unique, so
Because he lacks one, I'm assuming.
no.
No, absolutely
No.
not.
Orm smells,
Or is it because of the lead?
Yeah, Orm
How,
smells lead, grave dirt, blood, and the environment around him, so...
Well, yeah, here's another fun question. Now that we're in this huddle, he would have put it on. How potent is the smell of Law's cologne that she gave Adrian? Because it's
Holy
on him.
crap.
It's on him.
Unfortunately for both Orm and Filtiarn, who have enhanced senses of smell, Law's perfume... Oh yeah, you put it on.
Yeah,
I
he
need
would
both
have
of
put it
you-
on. He would have listened to them. He wouldn't have put it on next to them. But now that they're in a huddle,
I had completely forgotten. I need both of you to give me wisdom saving throws real quick.
no.
Does this have to do with being charmed?
Yes.
Okay,
Guys,
I
it's
have
love,
advantage.
It's love cologne.
She does work.
I
with
needed the
persuasion.
advantage.
16.
This is 19.
It's incredibly strong, incredibly potent, and if it wasn't for the fact that both of your minds have battled out of it, you would immediately feel yourself like, Adrian's a good buddy. I'll do stuff for Adrian. Like when you
Absolutely not. I know who Adrian is. This is a familiar scent from others of the Celestial Brothel that I would have encountered in the past.
Yes, this is not a smell
Okay.
that's changed.
Perfect. Do you have any more of that?
Reach into my pocket, see if I mean I wouldn't have Axe body spray drenched myself.
No, you have.
I just need a spritz. I just need something to cover up his smell for a moment.
Yeah,
Not enough to
well, somebody
linger,
off.
just something to
I'll
cover.
pull it out and spritz.
No. Take the bottle.
Okay.
I'm gonna hand it to Filtiarn. Wherever you pick up your scent, I want like the barest of pressure put on this to mask that level
So-
of you.
Already where he had kind of grabbed you to pull you in closer, he
Mhm.
immediately gives like not even a half a spray, like the tiniest spritz.
Around this time, all of you hear the sound of a spoon hitting a glass. Just this ting 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 ting. Ladies and gentlemen, as you see a crystal Hadislan kind of addressing the group. If you all would be so kind as to adjourn into the main hall, we will be having the auction take place momentarily. Please, if you will follow me. He gestures for the group to follow, as many of the nobles begin to file in that way.
Do I see anyone slinking off? Okay, I think I have two questions here. Do I see anyone slinking off into rooms that they're not being guided to? And do I see my Minotaur buddy being led into the auction?
Answer the second question first. Yes. He's actually not even being led into. He's just going.
He's just going.
Yeah. No one leads this man.
Yeah.
Give me a perception roll.
Okay.
I would like to catch up with Lady Tomomayo.
Okay.
As my
Your persona.
absconding has been as being a part of all of this.
Only a 7.
You don't see anyone that seems to be slinking away.
It's a crowded place,
It's crowded.
yeah.
As
What?
you advance to Lady Tamanomai, the hooded figure immediately steps in front of her, like protectively.
Oh, child, I've already been greatly introduced to your master. We simply wish to sit next to each other during the auction. You're more than
real
welcome to
quick-
sit beside me.
I've been told to pass along a message to Javante. Your audio is apparently low. Three of us.
I'll fix that.
Also, hello, Ginger. Thank you for watching the stream.
Also, hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I will fix that. I don't know why my mic's been doing that lately. As she... as you say this, the figure kind of gives this, like, look over to Tamamo and then back to you. To sit beside her?
You could sit beside me. And I'll take Lady Tomomayo's hand and walk into this space with her, with the guard behind us. Because again, I have no idea who this is. I'm just trying to keep them separated
It's
for the
hard
moment.
it's hard for you to tell that there are. It's pretty easy for you to tell that there are eyes like burning into the back of your head as she follows behind you.
That's fine.
The rest of the group, I'm going to assume, also filing into the auditorium hall.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna hand, Adrian back the perfume. That might be more useful for you, given your own family issues. Really need to keep that away from us.
Okay. Are you okay?
You smell like sex.
Let's just say it's not a smell I'm unfamiliar with.
And with
I was joking about love cologne.
it's not.
We're not
sad.
considering. Let's just say I'm not unfamiliar with the scent. And he'll head in to take more of a guard position and keep an eye out for everything.
As the room fills and the individuals begin to take their seats, Tamamo allowing Orm to sit beside her, much to the chagrin of her guard, who sits calmly, but you can tell there is a tension next to you. As you see most of the nobles have spots further up to the front. Of the group, only one is currently on the stage. As one moment while I pull up stuff. Clicked wrong things. No. As you see, the same Crystal Hadislan that gestured for you all to come in stands at the stage, as a few others wheel out a pedestal. We'll begin the auction here. Our first item for sale comes from what we were managed to find from the unfortunate site of Gilligan's Pit, we managed to recover. As he undoes the curtain from it, and you all see a small collection of silver chalices, glass baubles, things like that in a small crate. As the auction begins, we are going to go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break, go get drinks, get refreshments, go to the bathroom, whatever you all need to do. We will be back shortly with the rest of the auction. Thank you all for coming, and we will see you soon. sure all my audio works, and we're back.
We did it.
Did it? I know now.
We
Press
survived the
button.
break. Oh,
Sorry, my
you
cat,
know how to press a button?
Sorry, my cat just launched herself from halfway across the room onto the desk.
Do we have a sudden boss fight? Is this a boss fight?
Jesus Christ, Minnie. Her cat tree is like 15 feet away, and she launched herself from the cat tree to the desk, and just all my stuff moved. It's like, okay, calm the fuck down, child. So, as the auction continues to go forward, the next item that comes up, most of the things you see being bid for are small bits and baubles, nothing super noteworthy. The next item you see come up, which does draw some attention, you see a small amethyst-like stone, which is set at the front. This is an item that was initially given to one of the knights of the royal palace, said to hold great power. We will start the bid at 800 gold and go up from there. For those that you do know of this item, this is this particular piece was utilized by one of the royal knights. It has magical properties and apparently does something unique. As soon as 800 gold is said, you see one hand raised, which you recognize as the red-haired knight who raises her hand. 900.
I imagine Adrian's like he has a guard post, like maybe in like the corner of the room, like overseeing everyone in the chairs. I think just blanket question. I'm not looking for anyone suspicious. I just want to know: do I see my family in the room?
Yes.
Okay. How close are they to the actual stage of the auction?
Well, your son is sitting beside one of the nobles, so he's like at the front. Your wife and her girlfriend are more like the middle row.
Okay. I'm obviously keeping an eye out for anything suspicious, but I would also kind of like be keeping like just out of the corner of my eye. I'm watching to see if they raise their paddles at any point during this auction.
So far, they seem to have like kind of kept themselves a little bit lower.
Okay.
I wonder.
While he's doing that, is there any how do I say this? Signs of any of the other nobles from the Critican Highlands, or what was it? Dire Crown, I think was the other one.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
Frostcane.
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 As these bets start going, you do see their hands start to go up as well.
Could I have told everyone, if it's important knowledge, I think it is, you mentioned the Critican Highlands, could I have told them that this Minotaur lord that I know is from the Critican Highlands?
You could have told them that, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's going to be keeping an eye, because I'm pretty sure we know what it is, given the other scroll that we got from Law. This is the Sephiroth that we're looking out for.
Yep.
So he's going to be focused more on everything else, knowing that Orm is currently with the two other problems for one of the other items. So he's kind of going to let him deal with them, and he's going to focus on that, making sure, hopefully, it gets to a point where the ones that we want to have it can get to it, and the ones we don't will get it, won't get it. And
from what you know, the person that you want to have it seems to be the red-haired knight. Currently, this bet has gone up to about 1,400 gold and is rapidly rising.
The red-haired knight is the royal knight that
Yes.
Kanian pointed out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
If at any point in time it looks like the knight isn't going to win, uh, Orm will wait until that final like call of like going once, going twice, and then will raise his hand for double whatever the price the current running price is.
So as those bets continue, and the price gets to about 4,000 gold, with the Hadisland that you had talked to previously, the very pale Hadisland with the cream-colored vestments,
Mhm.
who seems to be winning, and then yeah, your bet goes out for 8,000 gold, and his eyes could slowly turn to look towards you. You can't really tell his emotional state, but just a very Going once, going twice. Sold. We will collect the fundings after the auction is over. As they recover the item in question and begin to take it away, the knight looks over to you a little bit baffled. Looks back a little bit less tense. And our second to final item for auction, as a much larger, not pedestal, but it seems to be a actual weighty item, is carried out on essentially what looks like a mini palanquin and is set down. Something we discovered off of the Cahulian coastline and was given to us by an unnamed benefactor. They pull the cloak off and it reveals the rather large, a lot larger than was initially thought, emerald green jade kitsune statue. Starting bid at, and Tamamo raises her hand, 5 platinum.
12 platinum,
18.
34.
Do I see anyone like I imagine there's some shock at the numbers being thrown around, but do I see anyone who looks like they're eyeing Orm and like eyeing the two current people betting on this and putting up their coin like maliciously? Do I see anyone like who might go at them later in the
It doesn't look like anyone would go at them, but there's definitely a lot of like, we're just starting with that kind of looks.
Yeah, okay. I just like it's like I'm trying to gauge if anyone is like we're gonna rob these rich fucks after this. Like,
No,
you know,
there's-
like
most of them are nobles, so most of them don't really seem to have that kind of.
well, they're nobles. They're not, you know, the most trustworthy.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of like, are you serious?
Just surprised at the numbers. Yeah. Okay.
Tomo just looks over to you, Orm. 85 platinum.
104.
104 going once. 104 twice. 150.
173.
There's a very noted like with like an intake of air in the room. Orm, you feel the person beside the guard next to you not only moves but visibly moves their hand over to the sword and just like places it on the hilt.
Darling, I told you there is no value that will not be paid from my benefactors to receive this item. Have your perfumes, have your art. I'd love to revel in them with you at some time after this.
Unfortunately, I can't let a family heirloom go to just anybody.
We can arrange something afterwards, but again, assuredly, that is going to my benefactors.
I'm
Have I kept her preoccupied long enough that they've already counted down?
They are starting to count down. I'm going to roll for her to see if she's still distracted enough to do that.
Is she distracted even more by the smallest scent of perfume on him?
No.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Not her.
But she likes perfumes.
Not her. Not
Okay,
that.
so while that's happening, because I can tell that that's going on, I kind of want to help Orem if possible.
Go ahead.
Is there a way from where I am to let out a whistle sharp enough in a to bug them specifically, especially my sister?
Oh, like a dog whistle?
Kinda. He's gonna be doing it to himself as well, but
I'm gonna make her do a wisdom save. We're gonna set the target difficulty to 15.
okay.
The best thing I can think of for anyone who watched the latest season of Invincible, it's Cecil's noise button.
Mhm.
She seems like she's about to raise her hand to say something, and Filthy Art, as you let out this, no one else can hear this sound, but you see Tamamau flinch, and Orm, you see the guard next to her not only flinch, but wheels around. But it's enough of a distraction that I now have to re-roll the die.
I do have a plus 11 in persuasion.
Jesus Christ. Well, it's not going to matter. I had to re-roll, and that's a 2. So, yeah, and as this happens, sold. So, we will see you after the auction for you to collect your winnings.
Assuredly. And madam, please, again, it is simply just for a small bit of observation, and then I'm sure you and my benefactor can have conversations of some kind of exchange for your family heirloom to return back to your hands. It's purely for observation. That is all.
Then I'm sure you will understand that this isn't personal. It's business.
Of course. Of
As
course.
she lifts a hand and snaps her finger, and the lights in the room all seem to be devoured. As each of you can see pinpoints of red light start to appear and then open, as you see several of these same shadowy creatures begin to pull themselves out of the very walls.
Okay, I'm like, if I see this, it's very obvious, drawing a weapon, drawing the rapier in the corner of the room, and if combat's about to happen, the one thing he shouts out is, he looks at the situation, he draws his weapon, and shouts out, "Abigail, run!"
What? As she looks up into the darkness. I'm not going to have you all roll initiative yet, because I would like for the group to be here for combat. But what we're going to do, instead of that, we're going to have some fun with another little part of this system that I like. Y'all remember that era in video games where really cool stuff had QTEs?
Quick time events, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
We're going to
Skill
do
checks.
some concept like that for this. Skill checks.
Hell yeah. I'm with it. Let's do it.
As above all of your heads, you see one of these shadowy forms reach out and slices through the massive chandelier that is dangling over the audience. I would like you all to pick a skill that you can use to prevent whatever's about to happen from happening.
I'm gonna ask what you would consider it, because, and if it's would even be long enough, but I have my bladed chain. I would like to utilize that to whip it out to kind of like wrap, catch, and yank it out of the way from everybody it's about to crush.
Or like pull it into a wall, essentially.
If anything, even have to take out some of the Uriadra that showed up too, as I'm doing it.
I would say you can make that an athletics check.
Okay.
We'll go down the line.
What was that?
I said we're going to go down the line of people here because this will be a combined little thing.
Okay. So, while I'm doing that, I will spend a focus point for a depth moment to add a D4 to that.
All right.
because I do have proficiency in athletics. So let me roll my die first.
Midi.
So that is going to be a 27 total.
Okay. Orm, what would you like to
Yes.
do? What would you like to do?
So not in the bloodthirsty, I'm trying to feed and haven't fed in however many centuries I was in a box. That same jettison out of the seat, like fang over fang rotational, from the chair to the idol to try and just put it in the bag of holding.
I'll say that's an athletics check.
Awesome. I do. Could I persuade you, quite possibly, for sleight of hand? Because I am trying to manipulate this thing into the bag.
Yes, you can persuade me to do sleight of hand instead. Yes.
Okay. That's amazing. All right. That is it. 18 plus 5 for 23.
And Adrian, what would you like to do to help with this situation?
To help with the situation is with his shout. I think he is of single mind. If it be sleight of hand or some other role, he's sprinting to the middle of the room and like grabbing his wife's arm, and like if there's a side door, they're going out the side door.
I would probably say for this, if you're just sprinting and grabbing and running, I'm gonna have to probably say it's an athletics.
Okay.
Is survival good for you? Because maybe survival.
I do have survival. Survival.
Okay, I will allow a survival.
Okay.
Those base marital instincts.
Yeah. I'm gonna use my inspiration to reroll that.
What was it when you wrote it?
It was a 5.
Oh no.
Oh, that's much better. I went from a 25 or a 5 to a 23.
So, down the line, as the chandelier begins to fall, Filtiarn, your chain lashes out and grabs a hold of its base and flings it backwards as you see a bunch of more of these strange shadow creatures get driven into the chandelier and just pinned to the wall. With the rain of glass showering down, or your opportunity to essentially shoot forward and snag this item and immediately tucks it into the bag of holding.
I don't like this pause.
I love this pause.
Just the item into the bag of holding, right?
Yeah, it's just the statuette itself right now. The armament piece, as far as Orm is considered, he already had established that's a Filtiarn problem. When we were divvying up who's going to be in charge of what items. So it was just the statuette.
So I had Panda roll to see if something happened with Adrian. Hey Adrian, I need you to roll a D100 for me.
Oh boy.
Low is
okay.
Good for you all. So anything below 50 is good.
Okay. Well, believe in the heart of the digital die. 30.
You feel the bag seems to shake as you close it, but it doesn't feel like anything is shifted out of place in the bag.
Okay.
And Adrian, as you essentially sprint down and grab a hold of your wife and pull and run out, and her legs are just like dangling behind as she's like, "What is happening? Who is holding me?"
It is an odd amount of sudden strength from this man who is not a strength-based fighter of any sort.
Who is holding me?
It's me. Just we have to get out.
you could tell that she's like looked up, but she has gone silent as if in acceptance of like, all right, well, I'll deal with this as it is.
I accept this fate currently.
Yes.
And it like we're just bust out. Like if there's a side door, like get far enough away, get her somewhere safe, and be like, just get out, get somewhere safe. I have to go back in there.
As you bust out the side door, with your look outside, you see, similar in guise to the Kitsadria that you had seen in the warehouse that wasn't shadowy, you see a few of them starting to gather outside, but you also see someone standing in front of them, just playing leisure domain with a coin. And as they look up, you see them gain their own Kitsadrian appearance. I have to pull up exactly what they look like, because I'm going to fail at describing them if I don't. Images. And where did you go? Oh god, your names. Not you. It's a black acolyte, but you have a name. Sorry about the slight pause. I had to pull things up. There you are. You see someone with equally white fur and the same white ears, but the coat that they wear is jet black with some golden filigree along it that leads into this crystal at its center. And as they look up from their playing leisure domain, they kind of tilt their head to look to you. You see their nose wrinkles a little. I know that scent.
I am just going to look at them and then look back at my wife and just whisper to her, "Get out of here. Run."
She nods and begins to race away.
And I'm just going to have my rapier pulled in their direction.
You were in the warehouse.
Oh, great. You're here too? You have involvement in this?
We were called. Of course we do. This is a family matter.
Family matter, my ass. You assholes ruined a party and got us into some deep shit. And he's gonna flick a King of Hearts from his wrist. And as he does so, because I can cast it on myself, it's just a creature that I can see, and I can see myself. As I pull the King of Hearts, flick the King of Hearts from my wrist, and I say, you assholes ruined a perfectly good party, I'm gonna cast Enlarge on myself as I stick the card to my chest.
It's like looking at your reflection in the sword. You give yourself a wink and then set the card on you.
Yeah, I set the card on my chest and just go, like, I go from, 5 feet to 10 feet tall, rapier pointed out. You assholes ruined a perfectly good party. I'm not going to let you ruin it anymore.
Before you die, I would like for you to know my name. As he flicks the coin onto the ground. You killed one of my acolytes.
Well, they started something they shouldn't have.
He seems to, almost relaxes his entire body, reaches back, and from the coin sprouts a bow staff with the same black and gold pattern to it as he takes it, spins it around, and then just holds it calmly still. I am Samaru, the second of the first to skulk. And you will face endless lethargy. Inside, as this whole affair has happened, Orb and Filtiarn, you see a faint violet glow from the seat that Tamamo was in, as from the ground, these scattered petals seem to flow around of cherry blossoms, and from the petals sprouts a spear with a mirror at the base of the spear, with several rings looping around it as Tamamo takes hold of it. I really did like you, Orm. You're cute. Fascinating what an undead can do.
Sweetheart, you ain't seen nothing yet. With my back still turned to her, I am going to force one of my claws through my finger, cut my stomach open, and put the bag of holding inside my stomach.
Oh. That's no good. That means I may actually have to kill you in order to get that back.
You can try, and I'll eat like glass bits and everything. The whole vial, one of the whole vials of blood that I have, to seal that wound closed. Did this for two reasons. One, my hands are free. I don't have to worry about them pickpocketing me, sleight of handed, nothing. Two, my entire body is tattooed in lead. So I'm hoping that it will provide the same like protection and things that the lead box that this was supposed to go in would do.
Technically, we're going to get to something with you before we end. As Filtiarn, you see from the ground the same yokai looks up, realizes that no one else is around, takes a step, notes that she doesn't feel that collar, and you see her visibly smile and throws the cloak off.
He'll just sigh, kind of retract his blade chain back to his hand in that kind of like curled bullwhip way and just get himself ready.
No more distractions, big brother. Come on. Let's solve this.
Fine, I'll entertain you.
You see her tail actually wag as if she's excited.
Unfortunately, he doesn't share the same excitement as he seems more resigned to it.
And before we close out for the evening, Orm.
Yep.
You did a thing that's going to be interesting because, yeah, you've protected technically the outside area from the effects of this.
Mm-hmm.
You feel hands move up your back from inside you as these claws seem to dig into you, and from beside your ear, fascinating. You are not fully alive, but you're not fully dead either. You're fascinating. A shame I don't need you, but I need that one's blood. You can get it for me. You're a receptacle. Gotham truly has blessed me, hasn't he? I wonder. Your name, your past, your history. Oh, I can feel it. I can practically taste it. I wonder what horrors you'll enact this time, Orm. Light them up pretty. And that's where we're going to end for tonight's episode. Thank you all for joining us this week. Sorry for a slightly abrupt ending, but I would like for the whole group to be here for a combat episode.
Yeah.
That being said, join us in 2 weeks' time for our next ep. We're going to go around, say who you are, where else we can find you, what else you might be doing. We're going to start with Pie Guy.
Okay, hello, I'm Pie Guy. You can find me on Twitch at Pie's Bakery channel, where I stream every other Sunday a Helliana's Guide to Monster Hunting campaign. Very fun. You can find me on YouTube at Pie's Bakery, where I upload a whole bunch of different games. Norse campaign within 5th edition. I have a Pathfinder campaign using the War for the Crown adventure path. Trying to see about starting up a Transformers campaign. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Who knows? If things work out, Panda may or may not be in it. We'll see. Otherwise, I'm all over the internet. You could probably find me anywhere, really. I'm active.
Panda.
Hi, I'm Red Panda Cola. You can find me at that all over the internet, even though I'm mostly silent on it. I don't do a whole lot. Otherwise, if I'm not here playing Filth Yarn, I'm on the opposite Thursdays in our Set Sail campaign playing Dreki, as we're getting back together after our major arc is starting to come to a close. Otherwise, I don't know if you want me to keep shilling it, but I can.
Keep shilling it.
Okay, I will then. So, Nat 19 has a couple of things that are coming up and have come out. The biggest thing is Zalgalta's Exolunar Exploration, their Kickstarter that is currently live until the end of the month. That is currently over 135,000 CAD, if I recall right now. They are breaking fucking stretch goals left and right. If you love JRPG sci-fi settings, this is the setting book for you. It's set in Somnus Domina's universe, but out in space. Awesome time. They also came out with Lana's Fateful Vault. That's on, drive through. You can also get it, physical soft cover copy.
I
with
think it
their
was
other
recently
books.
the gold label or platinum label, or it recently hit something a pretty big
Yeah,
milestone.
yeah. If it's one thing, is that 19 is really good about getting their stuff bought because it is some solid quality stuff. The next thing that they are currently working on, because they're doing quarterly splash books like Lana's, is their Dead Saint records, which is based off of the Sword Saint, which is the class Filth Yarn is in this game. So if you love that, feel free to support them. I think that's all I got for that.
Arc.
Hello, everyone. I am Ark, or Ark Like Court, your grid master, lighthouse keeper, lore writer, beacon onto all beacons. I'm the Power Rangers guy, literally. Go to your internet browser, type in thepowerrangersguy.com or arklikecourt.com. You can
And just
find
look at
all
his
of my
background.
information. Yeah, you'd never know. You find all the information, all of my social medias at arklikecourt.com. But also, every Monday alternates between Morphin Multiverse, my own Power Rangers one-on-one series, where I bring people on. We tell a story that connects to an overarching giant fix this quickly. Things have gotten really bad really fast, which is going to culminate to a Kickstarter for a in-person actual play series with various ttrpg actors and performers, as well as the opportunity with stretch goals to bring people from Morphin Multiverse into that series and play their character in person with the other Rangers who will be at that table. Alternating Mondays, I have the Heritage Collection, a Batman Monster of the Week campaign with teams of vigilantes who are being brought together by the Bat family to help keep Gotham in check or under control, with Batman missing and Bruce Wayne exploded in a jet near orbit system that he created. And for some reason, a lot of the Justice League was on at the same time that happened. Who knows? Who knows why that happened? It's really weird. But the Joker just got really powerful tech last episode, so we'll see how that goes. Wednesdays, you can find me and Javante on Rangers of the Ton over on Pluto's Underworld. I am here on Thursdays. When I'm not here on Thursdays and on Tuesdays, you can find me on my own channel, twitch.tv/arclightcourt. Again, you can find all of my stuff, all of my information on arclightcourt.com.
And then it's me, Javante, your resident TTRPG goblin. Like Ark said, you can also find me on Pluto's Underworld, where I play DLSio Polka in Rangers of the Ton. You can find me on Sundays, currently, for House of Dreams, where I play Chuki, a black-footed cat veteran in our Wander Home game. Sporadically, you can also find me just random places on the internet. Just check my Twitter. I'm going to once more shill that I'm writing a TTRPG, and I'm writing a book for the Black Library of Warhammer 40k, centered on the Karkaradons. My favorite faction of all the Space Marines ever. I have tons of stuff like coming into the works, including in April, my birthday coming up. But I celebrate my birthday by making my friends do things. So perhaps keep an eye out, because at some point soon we will be entering into a new verse into the realms of the TTRPGs. A creepy, crawly Spider-Verse, if you will. Other than that, please join us next week for Set Sail, and the week after for more of Blood and Cinders. I love you all. Take care and have a good evening.